A Russian cyber crime ring hacked 1.2 billion username password combinations. You've heard it right, as well as millions of email addresses. Well, cybersecurity experts call this the largest data breach known to date. The stolen information came from more than 420,000 websites. Scott Schober is a cybersecurity expert and the CEO of Berkeley Varitronics Systems. He joins us in our New York studio. And Scott, it's always good to see you. I got to tell you, this here boggles the mind. You know I'm a dinosaur when it comes to technology. I've got to ask, what can they use with 1.2 billion hacks?
That's what a lot of people are thinking about. Yeah, but we'll think about what is the real reason for it. If you go deep down in, you see they use it for spam. They sell it. They get paid for actually sending out spam. You know how we get all those emails that we can't stand with the advertisements and other things? So they want to get as many emails as they can. And, of course, account credentials, and they could use that for other purposes. Okay.
What does that translate into money-wise?
Really hard to say. A lot of it depends upon the quality of the stolen information. So they purchased over time these different databases of stolen emails and login credentials, and in some cases passwords as well. Obviously passwords, if they're used on websites such as banking information and other things like that, they could go after money. They could sell that, and then cyber thieves will use that to hack accounts.
Absolutely.
And that could be really big bucks for them.
And it always boils down to money. I'm going to ask you a question I don't know if you really can answer, Scott, but how do you keep this information out of hackers' hands?
It's a good question. There's a couple practical things you and I and all the listeners can do is limit where you're logging on to different computers. If we go to internet cafes, at the library, the college campus, a lot of people have access to it, and they're hitting different websites and things. If we're entering in our credentials, our password, our username, there's a chance that there's a virus on there. There's a chance that there's malware put on there by a remote bot that actually installs it, and it could obtain our credentials. So we want to be careful. Use trusted computers that are your own.
Okay, well, what about Wi-Fi? If like you're in a cyberspace cafe, that seems to me that can be kind of dangerous.
Very dangerous, yes. Again, I only use trusted, known Wi-Fi access points that are secured with good encryption on them, or my own, in my company's or my personal residence. I would not use these general purpose free Wi-Fi, different cafes and hotels. You've got to be careful.
It seems like the technology has gotten beyond the point where it's moving faster than what security experts can do to safeguard the people who are using it.
Yeah, this is all responsive, and they're learning, they're catching up to these cyber thieves. And these are not dummies. These guys are about a dozen of them or so, believed to be out of about central Russia, outside of Kazakhstan, and they're about 20 or so years old, and they know one another. So it's a tight cyber ring of criminals here.
Something I've heard that's very scary, if you have like a credit card or something like that, you're walking down the street, there is some device, correct if I'm wrong, where people can actually scan it, or they can retrieve that information from anybody walking down the street and get all of your personal data. How true is that?
For some of it, where they've got embedded chips in there that do communicate wirelessly, if they're close enough, unfortunately, that is true. So you go to security standpoints where you want to have embedded security with wireless mobile payments, which is the future, yet the cyber criminals are ahead, and they know how to hack that. So sometimes the good old-fashioned cash is the safest bet.
This is, well, you know, I've got a lot of cash underneath my mattress.
Keep it there. It's probably safest spot.
Outside of that, though, Scott, what can be done in the future?
Well, the other thing is really passwords. It sounds crazy. We talk about this again and again and again. In this case, in this breach, what can they do with that information? If they do sell it online, and that's how they do it in the underground, they use that information to go into other sites and hack. And they've got programs you can use to hack passwords. So if we have the simple password 123, that's easy to hack. If you have a complex password, numbers, letters, uppercase, lowercase, and symbols, 15 characters or more, then it'll be hard to hack and you'll be safe. Change your password often. It's safe.
I'm still not satisfied, Scott. But Scott Schober, thank you so much.
Thank you.